Cargo hauling is about as long-running gameplay loop as you can get in Star Citizen. It's been around for years now, but if you're just getting into it, it can be a little confusing on where to start, especially if you have nothing besides a starter ship and or very little cash. If you want a quick rundown of what this video is going to be about, or you're a more experienced player that maybe doesn't need all the details, you can check out this video here where I talk about the 400,000 credit cargo loop that we're going to be doing here. I'm going to be going through everything, including the basics of where to stock up, where to buy everything. If you're a more experienced player who doesn't need all that info, you can use the timestamps down below to skip to the parts about the specific ships and the loops themselves. But first, let's start with what we need. So here I'm at Stanton Gateway, which is still like every Stanton space station, conveniently. It is the only place you can rent ships in Pyro though, so that's helpful to know. Regardless of where you are, you're gonna go ahead and start with the cargo center. Like I mentioned in the other video, this does take a little startup cash. You're gonna need at least around 90,000. And you'll see why in a second. We go to rentals.
Hey.
This is where you get your cargo ship. If you only have 90,000, you're gonna start with the MISC Hull A. Great little starter cargo ship, holds 64 SKU, but that is all it holds. Since the grid is external, don't even think you can fit a 1 SKU crate through the entrance there.
How's it going?
If you have the 180 that I suggested, then go with the Freelancer Max for 85,000. This has 120 SKU in the back. Look at that. Look at that cargo bay. Fits 120 SKU total. You don't need the middle room, but you have plenty of room in the back for everything we're gonna do. So you just rent that.
You're right.
That'll be on your hangar terminal with your other ships. Then you're gonna come over here to the cargo shop. And if you don't already, you're gonna make sure that you should always at least have a Pyro multi-tool with you. But for real cargo runs, you're gonna want the max lift tractor beam for 19,000. Buy one of those. I already have one, so that is why we need a little extra startup cash. If you're using the Hull A, the max lift will be your go-to. The other thing you can get at the cargo bay is the best drink in the verse, Cruise Lux. This replenishes thirst and a little hunger, so it's good to stock up on those. You technically only need 2 because there's still a glitch in the game where if you have 2 empties on you and you move one of them into your hand, it is magically full. We're saving you a lot of credits on that little tip, but it's convenient. If you want to get the most out of the Freelancer Max, I would suggest also buying an Atlas. You can do that at the Crusader showroom on Orison or Astro Armada on Area 18. You can also get them at Lorville, but the loops we're doing are already at either Crusader or ArcCorp, so you may as well get it there. And that's only 75,000 credits. If you've got that all straightened out, you can head to your hangar. No way. What? Does that mean I'm on the same shard as I was on? So I left this Atlas here, and it has stayed here. Logged out and everything. I don't know if I entered it back on the same shard or not, but that's pretty crazy. And very convenient. Regardless if you chose Crusader or ArcCorp, we're looking for direct, planetary, extra small cargo missions. Both planets offer a few different versions of these, but contracts with that specific title and a payout of 50,000 credits are what you're looking for. There are 6 of them, and they'll go from station to main city. This is why we picked Crusader and ArcCorp for this. Okay, so that's 11, 22, 30, 37, 44 SKU. So well within the Hull A's 64 skew total. Let's see how this works. You're telling me the Hall A, you're telling me in Star Citizen, the Hall A isn't dropping cargo every time you go into space? It's hard to believe. The other drawback is that you can't, there's nowhere for you to store an Atlas on the Hall A, so you'd have to do it with the max lift. And second, as you can tell, you can only load one side of the Hall A at a time. So, even though I will say I didn't move it at all, which maybe not great, but I don't feel like there's an angle that you can get both sides very easily. Oh, maybe if it was straight. It's so sketchy. We're gonna back it up straight to the cargo bay. If you need to know where the spindle is, it is right here, the transform button. I also believe it's K by default. This thing is loud. Well, let's see if we hit these this attrition sitting here. My theory is that if you back this kind of straight on, you can load it from either side, which I think works. So since this is kind of like a pickup truck, you don't have to worry about having an extra space to get in or out like you do with the C1. Raft is kind of similar. It doesn't have internal storage, but the Max has multiple, or has a front entrance. So here we go. And I think, I would say too, this is probably easier with the max lift because your distances here. Your distances here would be too far for a multi-tool. I keep hearing the sounds. It just sounds like everything's gonna fall off. It looks like everything's gonna fall off. Although for all the things that are broken in Star Citizen, the fact that tractor beams work, that cargo locks to grids, mostly, and that those are consistent things. I might try to lift 2 of these. That almost looked like it was gonna work. But the fact that those are consistently working things, and I saw somebody in chat say, when you add somebody from Spectrum, it pops up in game. So the fact that that kind of communication can go on in the back end and work on top of everything else in this game is amazing. So wait, what if I... Oh! I thought maybe. I'm actually surprised that works, because a lot of times if one box is under or beside another, you can't pull it out. Maybe that's just in corners or layers, not necessarily stacks. Okay, got it, we got it. Come on. Oh no. I guess if I'm trying to be realistic about how long this takes, I should stop messing around. So I will say, besides, like, you could do both stacks at once. You could do one layer and then go back for the next layer on this. Besides just putting boxes next to each other, I don't think there's a specific way to load the Hall A that's really more efficient than another. I guess going from left to right may be harder to put those boxes in. Depends on your angles. I mean, the distance at which boxes will snap to the cargo grid too is kind of crazy sometimes. And we've almost filled up this side. I will say this is pretty easy to load, even without an Atlas. We'll try it on the way back, but I'm guessing you can whoops. Guessing you can attach up to 8 SKUs to this? Maybe even 16s? 16s might work, I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific place that rates the... I mean, you'd only be able to do... Whoops. No, there's a specific place that rates what size boxes each ship. Okay, I lied. Remember when I said this works really well? I might have just been moving around too much. I think I don't know if there's a specific place that rates what size boxes each ship maxes out at. Because you can fit an 8 SKU box in a Vulture, but it won't attach to the grid. So there's stuff like that. So, backing the ship up to the cargo bay like this, and then loading from either side does work pretty well. That's not the issue I thought it might be. Because even with not moving the ship beforehand, we're under 15 minutes already. And that's it. 14:30. I might be wrong, you might not need a Freelancer Max for this. It's it's like 45k savings in the rental, which is pretty big. We'll see if it can do the same return trip, because that's not a deal breaker, but it is super useful to be able to do for us, and just so we don't have to look for it. Let's see if this queue works. Oh wow. I'll start playing on EU servers more often. Oh, that was scary. The floor disappeared. Oh, yeah, that is actually have collision in here. So much trash out here. Is that cargo? Oh, well, you wouldn't be able to use your tractor beam here anyway. It's so unfortunate. Okay, I will say, I feel like one thing the Holiday has going against it, this visibility, not great. Oh, I still have, oh, that's scary. It's a little squirrely, kind of like the Vulture. Where some of the bigger ships are kind of slow, this one's just a little bit all over the place. I do think it's nice that the ships actually feel different, though. Oh! Oh, that was terrifying. Why is there so much trash? And it's all trying to kill me. We're at 20 minutes, so I guess probably not going to be able to do this inside of 30. Definitely be under an hour, though. I think what's funny about this ship is how slow it is for how small it is. Where is this hangar? And then we'll just back this up to the cargo elevator the same way we did on the station. Maybe not. Quite so close. I wonder what happens if you try to close the spindles with cargo on them. Hopefully it stops you. I don't want to find out right now. And then you just reverse. Honestly, Holly might be the way to go for this. I thought the extra size of the Max just couldn't be beat. So, yeah, this is the only real... And I guess maybe you could even do this kind of... Loading wasn't an issue, but I think unloading you have less than ideal angles. Although maybe you should just, I think maybe if we just go layers, I think maybe that's how you have to unload the Haul A instead of, yeah, just go back to front. There we go. So loading, no specific notes, but unloading, definitely fill your, especially in the, well, yeah, this since you'll be in a small hangar. Most likely, loading it from back to front like this is the move, instead of in like columns. I was doing columns, you should do rows. This little area here that we can't really see around that corner, we probably don't even really need that. We can start stacking these on top of each other from this direction. Not have to worry about using all that space. Actually, unloading is going so fast that I'm still under 30 minutes. Oh, no. Oh, wait. I was able to get it. Yes. Regardless of which tractor beam you're using, if you have a crate in the back that kind of gives you a marker where to go, it's a lot easier to tell where you're putting crates and how well you've got them stacked up. Making sure you're using the space you need. Got a minute to go. I don't know if we can do it. If they don't snap, it's not going to go down the elevator. I don't know why that one didn't. Just hit 30 minutes. So close. Is there not? That's weird. Stack that on top of that one. And our last one. I did manage to do it in under 31 minutes. 30, almost 30 exactly. We send this down. You can see we didn't lose any crates, amazingly, on that Haul A. Sketchy as that was. Does not sound good at all. So we had 750. We should end this with 1,050,000. I think that was the last one. Or no, we only had 5, didn't we? I miscounted that. I thought it was 6. Did we miss one of those? Maybe we missed one. I thought they might be available again already. But yeah, see, they are. Let me double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, is this one? One of them isn't with the other one. So yeah, there are 6. So that would have taken a little bit longer. But let's see what I think there would have been room for this too. This would have been 37K more. So this would actually be 337,000 if you would grab this as well. And I think you can still do that on the Haul A. So here's agricultural supplies. Oh no, that's from Seraphim. It's not the one we want. 83 is more than we can haul. We can take this back. And I think there should be another one. I don't think it's an 80K. It might be okay, so this is where maybe the Haul A loses. So we'd be able to make 300 to 337K coming down in less than an hour with the Haul A. But if we had the max, we'd be able to take it back, or take back at least 80K worth. So in just over an hour, you would have at least 400K. So the only thing I would say about accepting these is that accepting them all at once could potentially bug out you might have one that didn't spawn. I would consider even grabbing all the 50s, loading them up, and then grabbing the 37 to see if it spawns properly, because you want to make sure you get those 50s first. And that's why I'm not grabbing them down here, because I don't want the contracts we grab going back to affect the spawn of our other contracts. Okay, so it doesn't look like the Haul A can't do, it can only do this small return contract. I wish there was a local button for these. I just show the cargo available here. So this is 34K. So with the Haul A, you could do just over 250 there and back. I mean, you could accept one of the bigger contracts and leave it partially incomplete, or you could, which is what I think I'll do now. I'm gonna run it partially complete. So where did that go? We're gonna do all of the 37K and then load up with whatever else we can fit on here of the medium or whatever it was. So I think the waist one is what's usually popping up for me here. We'll grab this. I mean, obviously 100 SKUs, or I guess that's 92 SKUs. Way more than we can handle, but so it's worth 53K. What is the actual 34.5, 53 even. So we should be getting 87.5 return trip. So 1,088,191 is what we should get. We're gonna try to just partially submit the medium cargo, see how much it gives us. Because I know it's prorated, but I don't know exactly how it prorates. Bring that back up. So again, and then with these, you get different sizes. Instead of 1. So this is whatever that symbol is, USKU. That's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 4. Basically whatever the first number is how many SKU it is. Even though it's a million number. And then same with these. And you see how many you get. Foam items are blocking the elevator. Scrap. We did hear some things bumping around. I don't know that, did we deliver scrap just now? I do not know. Why does this look like... Was it 1? It's 12, 14. We have 15 of this. Let's see if we have to... Do we have to rotate this to attach it? No. Do it for us. So I haven't checked yet, but I imagine that ArcCorp has probably similar return contracts. Because I know they have the same direct-to-planet ones. And somebody said that there's good routes on Hurston, but I just don't think that it would be as easy or as efficient as this. And I don't think it would be as quick, especially if you're new to cargo at all. Obviously, there's no reason the Hall A shouldn't be able to do 8s. But let's see. Yeah, they do. Oh, and you can even put them on here wrong. You can put them in the middle if you wanted to. I guess we should, for these, we should leave these behind and get as many of the 8s as we can, because it'll be more. As opposed to leaving one of the 8s behind. Just to double check. I don't think we can attach anymore, yeah. So this is the other thing with the Hall A is that a lot of the other cargo ships, they have internal space that's not on the grid that you could still use. I was like, how do we have enough room for this? But a lot of the other ships have internal space that's not on the grid that you can still fit some extra, especially something like a 1 or a 2 SKU crate in. That's where the Hall A falls short, but it's not much of a... I mean, you save so much doing this that even if this is like a 10K dock, even if it's a 10K dock on this contract, it would be worth it. I almost wish you could attach these to the inside. That's not like a secret thing you can do, is it? Yeah, damn. If I put it right here, will it just get stuck? So the only other option, I don't think this airlock door is big enough, but it's worth trying for a 1 and 2 skew crate. No, so that's, I didn't think it was very big at all. It's not, sadly. It's too bad it doesn't have like a grid up here or something. If we just sit it on there, there's no shot it stays up there, right? It's already dancing around, I can hear it. All right, we're just gonna leave it. Is it waste? I don't think waste is useful anywhere. I'm trying to think if it stays in our inventory if we... I don't think it takes it out of your inventory if you submit. And most of the times I've submitted, something got lost. We'll send this back down. So even with all that messing around, we're still only at 48 minutes. I kind of like this little ship, to be honest. I wonder what these cost in game. Might be a worthwhile purchase. Since we have the shipment marker, I don't need to plan this out as much. Is it 90,000? Why are we still in atmosphere? This thing is slow. What are these two doing? So wait a second, where? I think that's the surfing marker there, but every time I've done this, it puts me at the station. So it's weird there wasn't overlap. Ooh. I don't want them to hit me if they're paying attention. And not have my shields up. Let's pull alongside where I'm pretty sure our hangar's gonna be. Maybe right there. So sometimes when it does this, oh no, there it goes. Wow, the server's working really well. But because there's been times where I have to call again to confirm the queue kind of thing. This thing almost seems too long to fit in a small hangar. We're seeing somebody else's hangar right now. That's terrifying. It's the second time that's happened to me. Put this in the front little corner here. Oh, maybe. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it off the grid. Put these up down first. Yeah, time-wise, considering there's actually very few boxes here, I think we're gonna be good on time again. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I think it's funny that maybe it's because I just hit that other one, but it's like the weight affects the ship a little bit. So very easy to do. Not at all bad. Let's see what we get paid for it. And so we're still within an hour, 59 minutes. So again, we're at 1,000,000 $691. Oh, so there was a lot more scrap there. There was 5 more 8 SKU containers. That was the error that it had. So we missed like half the order, I guess. That makes sense. So we're gonna get 30, that's our 37. Not 37, there's another one. The 37 is one of the ones we pick up here. 34 is 34.5. So then we have this for 53. We basically did half of it. So if we submit, what should we get? It must prorate almost exactly because we got 23. Yeah, it must rate it to the SKU amount. I forgot to check see if that negatively impacts your rep. I imagine an incomplete one would just give you no rep or also partial rep. We had 58.25 on the way back. So even with screwing this up, we still made over 300K an hour. The whole holiday there and back, in just over an hour, you could do 395K with the submitted incomplete contract. There we go. We got the Freelancer Max spawned in the medium hangar on Seraphim. But since we can take the Atlas with us in this ship, we're going to spawn that here. But to do that, we're going to have to send this back down. And since we're on a station and it's not your home hangar, I don't have another way to do this. I mean, to be honest, I think I'd have to do the same thing on Orison, since we don't have small vehicles or personal vehicle option. Bring up the Atlas. Maybe. So far away. Like how it does it the whole time until it gets to the top, and then it's okay. We gotta do the 50-yard sprint to go get our Atlas. And what was this? Freelancer faced this way, so we'll put the Atlas off to the side here. There is a shift. You don't move too fast, but you move a little bit faster in the Atlas, holding shift. And make sure you're all the way off the pad with this. We're just gonna drop it off by the freight manager. So the Atlas is super convenient, but you should always still have a max lift and or multi-tool on you as a backup. I got stuck in some crates once, learn from me. So we go back here, Freelancer Max, bring it back. I don't know why I always kind of want to play around on this. Like, if I stand on this, is this solid? Will I just fall through it? Is it just for show? I don't think you can apply paints to rented ships, but I sure am tempted to try. Orange and white, not really my thing. So with the Max, you can open the cargo bay. It's an older ship, so it doesn't have a button. You just have to get to the right spot for the prompt for open door. Look at all that space. So, unlike the C1, you can also enter via the ladder. Which, like, I feel like that was just a way for them to make the C1 not too OP. The only problem with the Max currently, I don't have a way around this. You can't exit this door from the inside unless you just open all doors from the cockpit. So it's a little bit of an inconvenience if you have something you have to remember to do if you have the cargo hold completely full. We want to back this up to the elevator. Good sounds in these MISC ships. To open all doors is to the left? Open exterior. It's on the right. So sometimes if you hit F and those keys aren't there, if you just do it a second time, they'll pop up. It's also something you can have hotkeyed. I have it to Alt-O, I believe. Just gonna bring this up and take it back. I usually go a little overhead for this. So with the Atlas, you don't need to get as close, but it still helps shorten your time. And with some of the bigger crates, you actually do need some extra room with the Atlas because it wants to do an animation, which we'll see. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do what I mentioned doing. We're gonna try to grab all 6 of these contracts this time, and then grab the 37 or whatever it is. Junior rank 51K. 51Ks are pretty specific. These are the workarounds you have to, but 51K is a pretty specific contract reward, so it's easy to follow until we get better organizational options, the kind of workarounds you need for cargo. There we go, 6 times 50, 300K. It is titanium, carbon, quartz, aluminum, corundum, tungsten. So it's 6 different things. Grab these, make sure we got them all, and then we'll grab that 37K. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have some RMC here, but it's not showing up. I think there might be a bug with that where it shows in the admin, but not in your storage currently, which is an issue because you can't sell RMC at stations. Move to the elevator, bring it up. Make sure we don't get any errors. And this should be 7, 8, 15, 26, 33, 44. So this is 53 SKU for all of these. So still within the limits of the Hall A. But we're gonna see. Did we get all of it? 5. Oh, this is a medium hanger. I'm used to emptying the vulture into a small hanger. Yeah, that looks like all of it. So we're about 11 minutes into this recording. Oh, we get this. Oh no, now we're moving. There is a bug where your Atlas might stop moving, and that's a good reason to keep her on the max lift, because you can pick up the Atlas with the max lift and move it around, and it's fine. So this is why this is actually seems to be working better right now. We'll see. Shouldn't say that too soon, but this is why the Atlas is so useful. Just pulls the boxes to you. You can, if you scroll the wheel here, you move it up and down. Oh, it's still snapped. Let's see if I just used F to zoom in there and realize that this is not all the way back. So we'll see if it keeps doing this, but no, it's pulling. So sometimes it won't do the pull thing, and you have scroll as normal with a tractor beam, which is still useful. But usually putting down the box and then picking it back up fixes that. We'll see if we run into that. This is the only thing I don't find. It's not always easy to tell where the crate is. So it can be a little finicky, but overall, it's, especially if you have any hand issues or a mouse with a bad scroll wheel because you're not using a Logitech G502 Hero like you should be. Something with infinite scroll, which very few mice have. It's crazy. And stuff like that happens, which is weird. I will say that's the only thing about having so much room in your cargo ship, is that it's not always easy to tell. So sometimes there's some organizing to be done when using the Max with the Atlas. But overall, I think you're going to find that this is a lot quicker. It's a lot easier. We're going to check under the ship to see if anything fell through once we're done with this, but okay, I don't know. I feel like we lost some crates there. We'll find out, I guess. But again, not the end of the world because it prorates you for the contract. But so you see there, like we clipped a corner, but with the way the boxes work, still snap to the grid, which is pretty good. You see it when it picks up the smaller crates, not when it sends them out. Big crates, for some reason, when it sends them out, it does that same spin animation. So sometimes you need to be a certain distance away to make sure you get the larger crate in the spot you're trying to put it. So once you get the hang of this, you can, but see, you move too fast and then that wasn't the spot I wanted it in. So you want to be deliberate with your movement so you don't waste any space. It's my favorite thing about the Freelancer Max is that there's just so much space. It's so easy to load up. So I think that's the easiest thing about the Atlas is that you can pull something and then spin around and start aiming where you want it to go. Whereas with any of the other tractors, you have to swing around, make sure the connection doesn't break. And there, that's the rest of the grid we'll see. Sometimes this is hard to get. Oh, so if you'd see that, if you're scrolling here and then you can see the edge of it drop down, that actually means there's an empty spot. But you're not going to be able to put it there with the Atlas. Since we have so much space in the Max, we don't have to worry about maximizing all of it. So we won't worry about that spot right now. But I think the one thing with the Max you run into with the Atlas is that your view angle here isn't perfect. It would actually help if you were raised up so you could actually see all the way back. But I think it works well enough. Still got there. A couple of missed spots in there, but I think we'll be all right. We actually, as you can see, we can actually go a third row high with the one SKU. So if you have 8 SKU crates, stuff can go on top of them, which we'll probably use on our way back. Oh, nope, it's there. I don't know if that's just a server thing, because I am on EU servers right now playing from the US, which isn't something I frequently do, but everyone knows the elevator issues recently. Finding a server that works well is not the easiest. There we go. That took 9 minutes. How long did it take to do the Hall A? I almost did the whole trip in 30, but I think that's still at least 5 minutes faster. So huge time saver, especially if you're going to be doing this a lot. Let's see if we can grab that other contract. It's 37 or 34. Okay, direct planetary. That's the one coming back. I think these contracts are shared, but then there's other times where it doesn't seem like they are. So here we go. This is agriculture supplies from Seraphim, so that's 37. All right, we'll give it a sec, make sure it spawns. There's that. Is it in there yet? It's there. Is it 2 4s and a single? It is. We'll see how easy this is. We'll see, here's the issue with this. Since that's so high up, I can't see where it's going. I see your red. So there's a good chance this is easier to do with the max lift, but even if, it says it'll fit there. Even if you're gonna do that, you can move it to the back of the, this can go in here. You can move it to the back of the ship so you have less. We're gonna move this out because we're gonna park the Atlas on. So you can see we have some empty spots in there, but it'll be all right. So hopefully we have enough room to fit this past the Atlas there. Oh, that is something you have to think about, though. There's a turret in the back, which makes this less convenient. Oh no, the clearance is there. But you have to do some rotation things. There, that snapped. That seemed like it didn't want to for a sec. We'll go 3 high, but this turret is maybe going 3 high earlier, so you have the room back here. Makes more sense. There we go. That didn't lock. There, that locked. This is in our way. We're gonna move that. And so this is the biggest reason. It took about 13 minutes total, but this is the biggest reason I like the Starlancer. but it becomes a question of money is when you're renting it. There's so much room. So we have this all loaded up. All the boxes are on grid. When we come back, we're probably gonna have some that are off the grid, but all the boxes are on grid, and the Atlas is in the back. And again, you have to find the closed door prompt. Have this little travel area on the side. I haven't flown the DUR, the DUR, Freelancer DUR, but I think the Max is probably the best Freelancer. Ooh, had the little hangar door bug for a sec. So the really tiny text says unclaimed cargo awaiting transfer was because I tried to sell RMC out of my Vulture at an outpost. And same as before, just quantum down to the planet. Right through the station. Makes me flinch every time. So this is actually less floaty than the hallway. Both MISC big on cargo. And industrial, I guess. With the mining and salvage. Man, this thing has a lot of shields. I like to ping to keep an eye on where everyone else is at. Wow, so many ships. Oh. Pinging also makes things a lot easier at night.
Landing gear down.
So this, just angle towards. Should be good. Since we have space, we don't need to worry about opening up that exterior door. And two, it can also be hard to find the open door prompt on the cargo bay if you have an extra full ship. So see here, I don't have it's not snap pulling it. I feel like it does this at Orison for some reason. So if we put it down and then pick it back up, now we have the snap normal Atlas. So here I want to get this aligned so I know where my cargo is going. I'm going to back up a little bit more, but see this again. So what I actually do here, if I have this issue with that Atlas, I just pull out a bunch of crates. Because like I showed you, as soon as whatever it is, once they're off a cargo grid and then like on the ground, the Atlas starts working again. So we'll get this, I do the first like couple rows or whatever. And then we have the Atlas functionality back. It's worth just, to me it's worth it to get those couple rows out on the ground. As you can see, that doesn't take that long, but then for this, to be able to make this part go so quickly and smoothly afterwards, I think that's a good workaround for now. I don't know if it's just, maybe it's just pulling off of ships is the issue with the Atlas. Because obviously loading onto it from the cargo elevator wasn't an issue. We'll put this in that corner. Get it out of the way. Gonna see that one. I don't know what happened there, why that one worked. And see, it's something with the cargo grid on the ship, because dropping it back onto the grid in a different spot does not fix the issue. Let's see, that one worked too. Thankfully, even as a tractor beam, the Atlas is still better than the other two. But obviously, it's more useful if you can use that Atlas functionality. Also, when you pick it up like that, you can put it back immediately. You don't have to wait for it to come overhead to send it to whatever placement you're trying to get it to. Whoa. Getting a little crazy. See, I didn't have to wait for that to come all the way back in to send it to where I wanted it to go. Again, when the Atlas is acting like a regular, like the other tractor beams, I'm not scrolling that much to get this stuff to move. Couple quick scrolls. All it takes to get that moving towards you. Just want to get the rest of these out of here. Oh man, there's still one more. This is like some kind of magic trick. How are there this many boxes in here? Whoops. Can apparently send things pretty far away with this. I'm about to send it across the hangar. Very nice, very neat. All right, off of the ship platform. Not that it should matter, but check around the ship real quick, make sure we didn't miss anything. All right, so let me check this 62. So this would have just fit on the Hall A. The Hall A does 64, right? Yeah, it does 64. And this is 337,000. As long as we didn't lose anything, let's find out. 11, that took 31 minutes. So that was about the exact same time as doing two fewer orders with the Hall A and the max lift. So send this down, check our contracts real quick. We got everything. All right, let me double check that we got paid correctly. Oh, so some of those 50Ks have a little bit extra on them because we made 338,750. And that was in half an hour. So with the max, let's see what we can do on the way back. Can we do that 80K contract? Because this turns into a 500K an hour operation at that point, which means it's worth it to take the max, in my opinion, to maximize profits. So all those 50Ks are already back. See that? I don't think that these don't seem to be. I don't know how nobody else would be doing these. So they don't. It seems to be like just everybody can get these all the time. It's not like somebody can steal these from you if too many people are doing them. That's the problem. The 80K one is from Seraphim. So there's the 34K from August on low. Medium cargo, that's from Seraphim. August on low. August on low to Seraphim. This is the same thing that we just partially completed last time. I don't think there's anything else from Orison back to Seraphim besides. So that's 87. So it'll put us at a bit over 400. See if the scrap glitches out again. Oh, I didn't think about that. The scrap might have glitched out on the other one because we were in a small hangar. That makes sense. Literally just can't fit all of that in a small hangar, I don't think. All right, so 8 SKU crates with the Atlas. So we're at 49 minutes on the recording. So we'll see how long this takes. Great thing about the Atlas and these big crates is that it moves them as easy as all of the other sizes. Come on, I want to get this all the way back. So these, it is finicky. It won't go. It's not scrolling for me. See, I'm not sure that's all the way back there. So with the max, you should be able to lock 3 8 SKU crates to the grid. Oh wait, no, I think it's actually, you should be able to lock 4. Make sure we're organized because we need every inch of our cargo grid for this. So yeah, see this didn't go all the way back. Also waiting max lift because I think the multi-tool it definitely has trouble with 8 SKU crates. And I think that's actually the max it can handle. If you need to, you walk it in. So see, it does that spinning, does that little spin. We'll see if it spins there, ran into the edge of the ship. But that's all right. So no, you'll lock 4 8 SKU crates each side of this grid. Put everything else up top. Interesting. Put these to the side. Hello? See how quick that moves? That's just crazy to me. All right, so we're gonna move. Cool. I don't know why. These we might have to do with the max lift. Oh, cool. Anything with these kind of specific needs. The Atlas is not a precise instrument. It's not a precision instrument. It is kind of the brute force of cargo. So I didn't think this would. Oh, there we go. We can see it from this side. So I want to max what I have locked on the grid, so I'm pulling this stuff back. This is why you keep the max lift on you. I got pinned once. Oh god. No. That was scary. But yeah, I got pinned like that once. But yeah, I did get pinned on cargo once. Died in a hangar where no one can save you. I guess if you partied up, they could save you, but man, is that embarrassing. So you still gotta work around this stupid turret. What is it? Why does this hauler need a turret? I guess to fight off pirates, but there we go. Sometimes you just cheese it. And these we can just put on the edge here. Again, more cheese. This gets to be a little bit like Tetris at this point. Which makes this a fun little mini game. This isn't even the most extreme version of maximizing your cargo space. So for this, just line it up with the HQ crates that are already in there. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's why. We didn't actually push these all the way back. I thought that was weird. So there's... That might be because of this. I think that had that locked in place yet. So see, there's... That's why you want to make sure you maximize your grid. We need it all for this. I don't know why it's not. So that's the same kind of thing that can happen to your boxes when you overload. That was scary. What is... So it seems like when these are locked to the edge of the HQ crates, they don't want to move. Yeah, see, that's all that was. Oh god. So like the corners, the edges of the ship are weird. That's where stuff will glitch out. So you do want to be careful what areas you try to push your space in. There we go. There we go. Let me just move everything one spot down. Did I go in between this? Oh man. We're gonna have to pull this out. So this is my bad. Maybe it's just the 4, because moving the 8 SKU with the 2 on top worked fine. Although I think it knocked it off the grid. Like the Connie can only stack so much stuff because of the thing in the middle of its like cargo bay when you send it up. So it's kind of weird that this has this, you can't stack, but it's still got this stuff hanging down from the ceiling that kind of gets in the way a little bit. So now that we're actually organized, we're gonna have enough space to do what we set out to do. 8 times 8 SKUs, so 64 locked to the grid, small stuff stacked on top. We need to put the rest of this stuff back up there. Moving some of that stuff around so we got more space here. And remember, because of the turret, you want to get this small stuff in there before you bring in the rest of these big crates. So that's why I was so confused, because I've done this same haul a couple times. Lock the 8, and then you have 11 total. That's 10. Here's 11 8 SKU crates. It is a tight squeeze, but it's not even that sketchy. This actually is a little tighter than what it usually looks. And then we don't even have to walk this up. We just max lift our Atlas into its spot right there. So again, the bonus of the max. That took, was it 49? That took like 10 more minutes to load. So if we're going like total loading time, I think we're still going to end up being loading and travel time, probably still close to an hour. Check the cargo doors. Yep, we're good. While we wait for our queue, we can line ourselves up. I feel like the slowness of the Max is kind of expected more than something like the A, which it might move like that because it's kind of long for a smaller ship. So you might hear, oh, see, we actually took damage from that one box. You might hear some things moving around a little bit. But you just don't worry about that. Do we have to call again? So this is what, it's actually the reverse of the issue I've had. But mostly just pays to be patient. See, this is another reason why I like the Max. I like any ship that has this overhead viewability. I'm just used to it with the 100i. But see, it's actually probably, I think you have maybe wider here, but maybe slightly less vertical when you don't have any cutouts. But I'd rather have the cutout overhead. There it is. I'd rather have the cutout overhead to see above me for any of those kinds of hangars. Where's the landing gear? Is it just not down? No, they're down. Where is it at on this? I do not see it. Not see an icon for it on this HUD. So I've never had an issue with it, but you can't trust other pilots. You don't know if people are paying attention. So typically, close to station, close to city, I'll run SCM so I can have my shields maxed out, or close to maxed. Another advantage of bigger ships is that they have more shields, they're more durable. Should you run into any issues. Obviously this is probably about as safe as cargo runs get, considering station to city is about the shortest distance you can travel in Star Citizen. And another good reason why I think this is a great beginner run. So usually if you hear that little sound notification, it means there it is. You've left that, maybe that's atmosphere, but you've usually at least left the Armistice. I think maybe it has a couple different meanings, but see this is our marker again, yeah. Really get moving with the nav mode, even in this ship. So something else I noticed, and you probably have too, just playing the game, whether you're hauling cargo or not, is that you frequently get similar or the same hangars at stations or cities. Am I going the wrong way? Oh, I am trying to go the wrong way. Here, though, we're not getting one of these side ones. Looks like we're in the middle, which is a drop-down, medium-sized hangar. So just being careful with the boost, but you can boost to lower yourself faster when you're in landing gear mode. Definitely want to be careful of how hard you're hitting it. Did we just lose our hangar? No. That's one thing about being in third person, you don't know if you're getting any proximity alerts, other ATC stuff. We'll say this turret on the back of the ship seems pretty heavy duty. All right, we got the Atlas, that's close enough. So with this again, we have room, so I don't need to use the outer door. As you can see we're at an awkward position, but there's the open door prompt right there. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and max lift the Atlas out. You can see that pulled that out pretty fast. So that wasn't broken. That's interesting. Oh, that wasn't attached to the cargo grid. So that pulled. So the cargo grid does seem to be the issue, but yes, let's see here, we're scrolling again. Yeah, just, you don't even have to pull it off and set it on the ground as long as it's off the cargo grid. When you re-grab it with the Atlas, it'll snap pull it. So with the medium hanger, you can, or the medium cargo elevator, you can stack 2 8s on top of each other. Say right. If the Atlas will let you. Although we don't really need to. We don't have enough for that, but we don't have enough to need it. But I was just gonna do it to save. You know, I haven't considered, I've been doing salvage contracts near stations, and they put you inside of Armistice so you can't use your tractor beam, but I wonder if you had an Atlas, if that tractor beam would work, because it's technically a vehicle. All right, we got everything in there. Wow. Atlas can, like, that's like a frame, it's like a pixel perfect positioning to get it to go to that spot. So it can be a little finicky. I think even with that, and maybe not getting all the cargo completely next to each other, for this run especially, it's hard to beat. And they seemingly have stopped killing people, but do try to avoid touching anything while getting in and out. Alright. Send that down. That's everything. Let this add up and we'll make sure we get our correct total. So that took 1 hour and 4 minutes. And that's with me like stopping and searching for the return contracts. 426,250. So that's 426,250 credits in an hour with the max. It's 395 with the Hall A if you get all of the contracts we got. Remember when I did the Hall A, I only took 5 of the extra small cargo contracts. The around 30K is from that large contract you can't complete in one run with the Hall A. I mean, you could rent the Hall A and do a load of those small one run of the small contracts and then come back and get the max on your next run. But you can get started with as little as 50K and start with the Hall A and then just move up to an Atlas and a max after that. So I can call this the 400K plus an hour strat. As always, let me know if you have any questions below. Be sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. But until next time, I'll see you out there.